this will help in the long run.
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so too.
This is why it needed to get put out there.
But I mean, yeah. Are we live yet?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, I think. I mean, to me, in the
Wait. You gotta tell everybody to refresh, and you gotta wait 30 seconds for people's commercials and shit.
Yeah, true.
So don't really get to any good stuff yet.
Yeah.
Boy, does this look bad though, man.
Yeah. I can't. Like I said, I really, and I kept telling Nate this too. I'm like, dude, I really just don't want to run
If I was an attorney, I would say plead out, man. Plead out. I would say, look, man, take the deal, man.
I did. That's why I got a bracelet on my leg.
Yeah, plead out, man. Always take the deal, dude. Yeah. I don't know.
Are we ready yet? Because I still have more to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has 15 seconds. Claude, trust me. Let me say something first, and then you go. I got my salad commercials. Got 5 seconds left.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so the reason why I was asking specifics about what actually was said in the video, like, because I was trying to hear and remember everything, it seems like to me that I'll go back and say 16-bit definitely got caught up in the moment of opportunity and just kind of got hype about it and kind of talked about it. And the thing about it is, it's kind of like what Maxer said, like, don't blow it completely out of proportion. Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. I think it's very wrong. We all agree on that. But none of it happened in the way that 16-bit said, okay, you take out this person, I'll take out this person, we'll get this person in my pool, this person in your pool. None of it happened. So I think and trust me, I'm not defending anything. I'm saying, thank God that didn't happen. Because what if, it'd be far worse if he said, let's do this, and he has like a 10-point plan, all 10 things are in line, and it happened. And that's the way the tournament happened like a month before the tournament even happened. It was said what will happen. But nothing happened like that. So whereas the thought was there and the opportunity was attempted, it didn't happen. So let's not go way too crazy about it.
Yes,
but it's wrong. Stupid. And, yeah.
It's a wrong message more than anything else.
Well, to me, what's more disturbing than that is, I mean, like we just heard on the stream, and even Soong said, there was talk about brackets being rigged, and then it was theorizing about, hey, how can things go down? And of course, none of that happened. So obviously, the brackets didn't end up being rigged. The only thing to me that looks really, really bad is, unfortunately, I hate to say it, it is on 16-bit's part, because Khaotic does have a right thing when he says, okay, you know what, my bracket was my bracket. If it's not rigged, it's not whatever, I lost. Okay, blow me up. But he's just like, but you know what, if you're supposed to be the best katana player out there and you want to see me fall so bad, why do you want to come up with a game plan?
Play me and beat me, prove me not
play
the
me.
best.
Yeah,
prove me wrong.
Where you want your boy who you think is going to put me in a bad match to beat me, so you can say you see that or whatever. Well, and unfortunately, it looks even worse because Waffles didn't play me. Khaotic is sitting there saying,
right,
I'm in the room. If you're going to have Waffles blow me up, have him blow me up. If you're going to blow me up, then blow me up. But don't sit there and wait for someone else to take me out and then, yada. And that's what really looks bad. I mean, for me, I remember when all
PGA that was there, every single one. I played Soong, I played fucking Han, I played all of them. And I was even in the room. I chilled in the room, did everything. All 16-bit does is come out the bathroom. He looks at me and he says, I'm fucking hungry. You fat bitch. If you have something to say, like, come play me, dog. That's all I want. Just play me.
Yeah,
you talk other shit behind the keyboard. Just get it over with. Don't send a little punishment to me. I want you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I want.
As the official attorney of 16-bit, I obviously cannot defend. I can defend him on the bracket rigging stuff, but he has got to plead out on these charges that Khaotic is bringing up.
But
Tom, you still got to remember, the whole reason why NEC got delayed because the 16-bit started bitching about the brackets. Reason being because in that video did not go the way he wanted it to go.
That's not. I'm telling you, that's not why he was bitching.
Even if it did.
So why, Claude, fill us in. Why was he bitching? Why did he cause a 2-hour delay for the tournament?
Because
that's how it seems. It still seems sketchy because Like you guys, joking or not, I don't care if it was a joke or not. It's just the fact that when 116-bit found out shit wasn't going his way, he starts to bitch and cry for 2 hours. Like that shit's not rocking with me. That doesn't make no sense right now.
But listen.
Once he found out, I believe it was he felt that Swift Tom Hanks ready to put him in a bracket. But what really looks
Correct.
bad, Natus,
That's
is
why he was upset.
What really looks bad, even if it comes out, even if it's okay, he didn't rig the brackets, nobody rigged the brackets. The fact that you held up a tournament based on supposed bracket rigging, and then
you were trying to rig in the first place,
and then you're seen on tape laughing and joking about how you're going to get the brackets rigged, only to hold the tournament up for an hour about how someone else rigged the brackets. It makes you look really, really bad. And what makes it even worse is even if you're acquitted on those charges, or some saying, okay, it didn't work out that way, nobody rigged the brackets, then you're seen with Khaotic, talking about Khaotic, who you blew up bad, and basically saying, first of all, it's seen as extremely disrespectful, saying, oh, I mean, Waffles, do me a favor, go ahead, blow him up so I can go ahead and yada, yada, yada. I mean, and of course, Khaotic has valid beef and says, hey, you know what, if you think I'm that bad and you want to blow me up, I was in your room. You should have come out of the bathroom and said, Khaotic, get on the sticks. I'm going to blow you up and show you why I'm the best katana player in the world. And I mean, look, there has been a lot of conversation between the katanas. Look, I have traveled all around this country. I've played every Sub-Zero in the mirror. And I think Khaotic is like, hey, you know what? If you really came to blow me up, then blow me up. Don't come out of your bathroom and say whatever. And it really looks bad now because now we see him on video plotting out who's going to blow up Khaotic instead of him playing it. And that's the only thing that I really see him really, really guilty of. That and complaining about the brackets being rigged after he was seen talking about, hey, let's see how we can get this done. Even though I don't believe anything was rigged, the Khaotic thing looks really bad, so he's definitely got to plead out on that, man. That's bad. The Khaotic thing is bad.
Okay, can I explain why he was mad?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because he felt like, because Swift Tom Hanks and him had beef going back to February or whatever it was, that, okay, he felt like Swift Tom Hanks put himself in his pool. Bring
up the Unjust Cast. On the Unjust Cast, Swift Tom Hanks had made a comment where he had said, one of the questions where there's going to be, when people thought Pig was going, he said there's going to be 2 Kenshis in the top 8. And they said, and somebody said you, and he said, yes, I'll be playing Kenshi. So here's 16-bit, who sees that they have been beef with him in the past. Then he goes on a show saying, oh, I'll be playing Kenshi. So 16-bit says, okay, look, this guy is playing Kenshi, and he set it up that, I'll be his easiest match. So he set it up to blow me up. And that was 16-bit's gripe about it.
Okay, so correct, but he felt like Swift Tom Hanks put himself in 16-bit's pool, okay, which wasn't true, because I'm the one who put Swift Tom Hanks in 16-bit's pool, because I thought it would be hype for the community. That's the only reason, okay? And if that's wrong, then I apologize, but that's why I did it, okay? So Swift Tom Hanks didn't do it. When Swift Tom Hanks moved Khaotic Khaotic was never, certain players, like the pools that I had a part of were just very preliminary. They were all going to be looked at, changed, fixed, etc. by Dark Rob anyway, because he's like, he was like the guy in charge of it. Like,
he was like senior staff.
Correct. So he wasn't going to let any like obvious for this whole reason, case bracket rigging. He was like there to make sure like everything was fine. Okay, like he was the man. So, and he did nothing wrong. And so a couple people got moved around. I think Kerbalicious got moved around. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
He got moved in the Sunken Rio's bracket.
Kerbalicious got moved. Khaotic got moved. There was multiple people who got moved the day of. Okay, and I had nothing to do with any of that. So what happened was 16-bit said, oh, Khaotic is in the pool next to me, right? And Winter Wars like just basically happened to be in his pool. And he felt like because him and Winter Wars had some kind of beef that like Swift Tom Hanks was rigging it to blow him up, okay? So therefore, like, oh, Winter Wars could blow 16-bit up or Swift Tom Hanks could blow him up. And then once they got out of the pools, that Khaotic could blow him up. The truth is, I can guarantee you none of us thought anything about top 16 at all except for teammates possibly playing each other. That's the only thing we thought about. So we tried to not make it so teammates would play each other like.
So you guys did a good job at that because none of us got played each other until
Correct.
top 16. Yeah.
Correct. So that was our main focus. Okay, so 16-bit felt upset because he felt like Swift Tom Hanks was trying to blow him up, like intentionally. It wasn't because of any bracket rigging. It wasn't because of anything like that. The brackets weren't rigged if you actually look at the brackets. That's what I'm saying. So there was a lot.
I mean, look, I'm going to say this. I
So
mean,
we're
I
saying the
looked at the
brackets were
final
not-
brackets. The brackets wound up being cleaned up, which is it, to me personally is not what the issue is.
No,
The
it's
issue to me is the premise that
entertainment.
it's the premise that this is the type of discussion, and everybody could say it was a joke, it was this, it was that. It's very discouraging, and had this not come out, it would continue.
Well, not by me, because I wouldn't.
No,
be
but I'm
doing
just
anything.
saying it would continue, and the fact that we're a community that's sitting here, we just got picked up by fucking EVO for a third year in a row, but it makes us look like assholes. I mean, I'll say this: I love the fact that Maxter wears fucking the hoodie now when he comes to the tournament. But I remember the days when Maxter and Rio used to dress up in a collared button-down shirt, like the Yankees, like the Yankees. You look at the Yankees compared to other baseball teams. Everybody has to shave. Everybody's made to be in a certain frame of mind. What was his name? Johnny Damon when he was in
That was
Boston.
such a big fuck you when he came to the Yankees and cut his hair and shit.
They cut Johnny Damon's hair off, made him shave. He's like, what the fuck? But you know what? You want to be a Yankee? That's what you got to do. That's what the Yankees represent. Us as a community, we have to police ourselves. Look, when we had NEC or ECT or any of these tournaments, people like Phil, Dark Rob, Shock, Summoning, these are the guys that are really. I mean, we could take our tournaments on the East Coast and put them in the back of a fucking in a bathroom, no pun intended, out to Texas. But these are the guys that basically are the heart of our tournament scene. And then obviously when you go down to the other tournaments as well, that there's groups of people. Those groups of people are not there to cater to you. Where you go to like Big E, for example. Big E called me up and he was pissed. He was pissed saying that you guys were bashing my fucking tournament. And I said, no, in reality, we're not bashing your tournament as much as we're bashing ourselves for us being stupid to not be able to police ourselves, and whether this is, whether this worked out in 16-bit's favor or not is not the point. It's the point that it's stuff that played, and once again, I use Pig as an example. I could turn around and go, Pig, I'm gonna fucking do a dollar money match, you versus Brady, fucking Rio, Maxter, and CD Jr. handicap match. He'd play it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And that's the mentality that this community needs to have, which is it don't matter. Again, my old ass, I didn't care who the fuck you were. I'll drive fucking 10 hours down to fucking North Carolina to an arcade just to play against some motherfucker.
I mean, what it is it's unfortunate that, and this is the way for a lot of fighting game communities, and it's unfortunate that there are players out there who would much rather, get the easiest way possible to the top, as opposed to one of my biggest regrets is that I lost a Tyrant. I didn't get to play Rio next. I want to go through that in tournament mode, and I felt that I felt cheated at that because I felt like I could have played better against Tyrant, and I really wanted that opportunity. But there are some players out there who don't look at that kind of challenge. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. In a tournament, win or lose, there's a level of respect between players when you win or lose, but really have to fight for your life, and that's a lot of fun. And I don't know. I just don't see.
James, add J360. I just put him in.
I just don't see how wanting the easiest way possible can ever be enjoying to anyone. That being said, to me the issue here is not reading the brackets themselves, like Jimmy pointed out. The issue is really a conversation being entertained about it, and how often does this happen? And hopefully it doesn't happen anymore now that this has been exposed. But no bracket rigging was happened. The only thing that I really feel like 16-bit has really got to be accountable for, and as much as I try to be his attorney here and half of the time, there's no excuse for this. I mean, there's a big war between him and Khaotic. There's no secret to that. And to go, like Khaotic brought up, to go to a tournament and not play the guy, not even have Waffles play the guy, especially when there's been argument in the past about how Khaotic wouldn't do whatever against someone like Waffles' smoke. You know, and then it's right there and doesn't get done. I don't know. That's you know, there's no defense for that. I mean, he got caught on tape. There's nothing I can say. So
it's their own tape. We didn't fabricate this. This is their own stream, their own archive, not us.
Nothing I can say to defend that. You know, bracket rigging. The problem with bracket rigging is bracket rigging or talk about bracket rigging has been going on since long before.
Since tournaments have began.
I remember going to. I had some friends up in Virginia. You know, they used to hold Tekken Tag 1 tournaments, and they were pretty good players. They would rig the brackets every fucking time, even if they were good. They would still rig it anyway, and they'd be like, "Man, you guys are fucking terrible." But you know, and granted, it's extremely hard to rig brackets this day and age.
Hold on. I know this is a troll, but Galloping Ghost says, if the cigarettes don't get me, the ghost will. Dude, let me tell you something right now.
It's a troll.
And I got Revolver in this fucking chat with us right now. I'll tell you this right now. Any motherfucker in this community ever wants to step up to the plate, you know I'll be at a fucking tournament, but I'll tell you this right now, I will collect commissary off your ass. I will pimp you out, I will fuck you so hard that you will cry for months. And you do hear me say it. So don't be giving me some fucking tough guy bullshit over the fucking keyboard world. What do I mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. I mean, I will fuck you. I will take my cock, I will stick it in your ass. And guess what? I'm not homo. I'm not gay. Sorry, Revolver, if that's not the proper etiquette.
It's all right.
But I will do it for one reason and one reason only. To humiliate you forever. You will never be able to turn around and say you never got fucked in the ass, bitch. So don't even try to play that fucking game with me. Anyway, resume your conversations. In fact, guys, I got Revolver I'm introducing.
Yeah, I mean, this is just upsetting because these EGA guys, they're actually really...
They're great guys.
They're always good to me. They were good to Pig when he comes out there. They're really good guys. I mean, this conversation might have been taken as a joke, but the Khaotic thing is really upsetting to me, that was said and that it came out like this. It's upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that happened here is that none of it happened. But it is that is the problem.
Remember, that's so we assume. Okay, Claude can say.
That's what you assume.
Claude, you can say. Wait, hold on, Claude. You can say you didn't do it, but we don't know that definitely.
Oh no.
We don't. We saw this video here and it looked bad.
Wait. No. What I'm talking about is everything that he said in the video. It didn't happen like in the tournament. Correct. That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, but could the attempt have been there or have been attempted? Yes, it could have been possible.
No. I am putting blame with 16-bit for attempting or this or that and saying those things because those things should be saying.
There was no attempting.
And, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like for saying that or whatnot. I mean, 16-bit will tell you he was wrong because I know 16-bit. He would tell you that he fucked up. And I think that's what he's going to end up saying. If he says anything about this, he's going to say I fucked up, and he's probably going to say I got caught up in the moment and I made some big mistakes. And if I were him, I would go ahead and say that I'm not him. But if I got caught in his situation, I would say thank God that shit didn't happen. What I said because it would be even worse.
It would be a lot worse.
It would be a lot worse. But I think.
It's still bad. It doesn't matter if it's worse.
No. It's bad. It's bad, but it could have been a lot worse. Is what I'm saying.
Let me. I got Revolver here, and I got J360. What's up, Mr. Revolver?
Hey, yeah, there's just a few things I wanted to say about this. Wait, but first of all, can you hear my mic okay?
You're perfect.
You're fine.
You're perfect.
All right, good. I'm not using my headset, so But anyway, so first of all, before NEC happened, I heard some of the conversations about the rigging and stuff. Like, I even had Claude call me and stuff about that, but, nothing happened about that. I just told him, honestly, like, give me whoever. I don't really care. I actually did say Tetra Spirit, but that didn't even happen. So, anyway.
That's fucked up. You still got to play me, bitch.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, it wasn't really a big deal to me from this. Like, I really didn't want to say anything about this. Because, Claude's my friend, Sultan Hanks is my friend. But the one thing I did have a problem with, even when I first heard about it at the tournament, is death. because, like you guys say, this is all planning and nothing happened, but Death wanted me in his pool. Like, and Death is so really tight with Swift on Hanks. Like, me and Death, we were having a little rivalry before this and everything. And, when I first saw the bracket, I saw that Death was in my pool. And I'm like, wait, like, what's this about? And I was told that Death wanted me in my pool and everything. And I'm hearing now that Death wanted, like, me or a bunch of Katana players in his pool. And that did happen, and I did end up playing him. He also had a Star Charger in our pool as well, but he was moved before the tournament. So,
Dude, wait. Honestly,
I could vouch for Death. I was right. Me and Death were at Swift Tom Tank's house. I could vouch for Death. He did not. I personally didn't see him ask for you. I was like right there.
No. This was before that. This was before like the week of the tournament.
I had no idea that you and Death had some kind of beef. I didn't even do that. Is what I'm saying.
No, that's not you. I'm saying it's Swift on Hanks, because I know Swift on Hanks does this shit too.
Okay.
And but because of that, Death was practicing against Katana like all day before the tournament. Like Mr. Molina was telling me, he was practicing in the weeks before, just practicing the Katana matchup as much as he can and stuff like that. And I'm what am I supposed to think about this?
Like I said, I mean, if that happened, I apologize. I don't know Swift Top Hank's intentions on that. That's one thing that we didn't speak about was you and Death. I didn't even know about that.
Quick thing, real fast. Guys, if you're following OBS JamessMK on Twitter, that's a fake account. That's not James. So I see Original Razor and Crystal Cage followed him. You got trolled, so get butt raped.
Okay,
so can you guys get Death on here? Because that would clean it up real quick.
I don't know if he's still on. Death, if you're still on, hit us up.
Okay, so let me just say this. This is why I feel players should never do brackets, because whether or not, I honestly had good intentions of trying to make the best tournament as far as the hypeness and as far as...
Hold on, stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I just talked to 16-Bit, and I have a statement on this. 16-Bit has said to me he knows he fucked up, and he's really sorry. He said, when I talked to Claude, and I heard that maybe this was even an option, I'm really insecure, and I felt like I had to win. And even though I knew it was wrong, I couldn't sit there and say, I can't ponder this thought about maybe whatever. He said, so when I thought it was an option to maybe get things rigged a little bit toward my way, I actually entertained it, and I thought about it, and I thought about how I wanted it to go, because he said he's never really been good at anything before, and he said he's really insecure. So, and he felt he had to win, and he was willing to do whatever it took to win here. And he says,
well, listen, wait, no, wait. But before you say that, I'll tell you something that you're good at. You're good at making friends and hanging out with fucking people in the community playing the game. That's what you're good at. It doesn't matter. This is the problem with this scene. It does not fucking matter. Yes, you aspire to win tournaments, but the fucking tournaments at the end of the day are just that. It's fucking tournaments.
Hey, hold on a minute. First, before anybody blows him up for this, let's be serious here. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there that'll come up with 1,000 fucking excuses and pawn the blame off on somebody else, rather than sit there and say, you know what, you got me, yada, 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 yada. So let's be serious here. Even though it was wrong, at least the dude is man enough to admit he was fucking wrong and say why he was wrong and that he's insecure and yada, yada, yada. And I look, people fucking admit they do steroids and they cheat to get millions of dollars, okay? This guy, even though he said he entertained the notion, he still played in a fair bracket and still placed in the top 5, okay?
Yes, I agree with you.
That being said, he is sorry for it, listening to it and entertaining the notion. And I think that, let's just say, okay, you fucked up, yada, yada, yada. Stop being so insecure. Realize you're a top player and don't do this kind of stupid fucking shit anymore. And I think that's where we need to go.
This is why we needed to get this out there, so that way this doesn't happen again, period.
Hey, Natus, the whole thing the Revolver's talking about needs to be asked about, because What if it's
Yeah,
What if it's just not bit? What if it's death? And what if it's this guy?
I was
What if it's
actually
that
just
guy?
about to ask a question. My mic wasn't working before, so I think it is now. If you guys can hear me,
Yeah.
Revolver.
Yeah.
How many VSM members were in your bracket?
I only had JamessMK, I think.
No, we met in losers.
We had I think it was James and Summoning actually.
No.
Bravo, what were you saying
Okay,
about rigging? I didn't hear it. I was on the phone with 16-bit.
Yeah,
so
but
what were you saying?
me and Summoning don't count because we're like old motherfuckers.
Well, I'm just asking because I mean I know it may seem really bad. I'm not trying to defend anything here, but I know it may seem really bad. But you got to think about the fact that we had 1 million VSM players there, and they separated us as much as they could.
Yeah.
So you ending up in that bracket just might have been a coincidence. Who knows?
Dude, no,
I mean, as easy as I can say it's not.
Begrudge. I don't care. Like I said, I don't
Yeah.
care if my first match is against Rio. I don't.
Yeah.
Give it. I personally don't care. But that's me. But there's players that take things to heart a little bit more. They care about. I mean, like I said, at EVO, I got a bye. I had no EVO points. Motherfuckers like Junior and fucking Rio and fucking Pig and all these guys were playing first round matches. I got 2 buys, as a matter of fact.
I had no buys.
I had 2 buys.
Hold on. And Red Rum, look, listen. He admits, he told me just now, I fucked up. Period.
Yeah, I just got the same text.
He said he fucked up. He was wrong. He knows he was wrong. He said, he told me why he did it. He told me why he entertained us. But he didn't actually do anything in general. All he did was, he listened to it. He entertained the notion. He thought about maybe, going for it. And then he complained about possible bracket rigging when he was there. But he admitted he was wrong. He admitted he fucked up.
Hold on, I want to address what J360 said real quick because my thing is I think the brackets were I think they were very balanced and they were very fair in that sense. I think they did a good job at separating regions and things like that. My problem is that there were specific matches that certain people wanted that were set up in the bracket so they would go against each other. Even if the brackets were fairly made, I just feel like there was unfairness with that. Like you talk about 16-bit and Swift on Hanks, but I was looking at that and I'm thinking of Swift on Hanks and Winter Wars because they were also in the same bracket. And they had a history
Ashenar, you're
together.
feeding back.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about the same thing because Winter Wars has somebody that has been placing pretty high everywhere that he's been going outside.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think of as to how they seeded Swift Tom Hanks over Winter Wars in that bracket.
I can address
That was
it.
weird.
No,
I
I'm
can
just
address
I'm just asking. It can possibly be just that he's a regional hero because Swift Tom Hanks always places in that region.
Wait, I'm the one who did it. Well, I didn't place Swift Tom Hanks over.
I'll answer that right now.
Okay.
Swift Tom Hanks, I love him, but he's caught in 2011. What happened was we had a conversation at a bar, and he was talking about how he used to always whatever Winter Wars and how he beat me, whatever. And I was like, that was a year ago, Swift Tom Hanks, literally 12 months ago. It's not the same game anymore, man. He said to me, nothing changes anymore. So it's quite possible that maybe Swift Tom Hanks, he had left the scene for a while. Perhaps he had not realized some of Winter War's recent accomplishments since he moved to America. So from his point of view, he should be a higher seed. He did leave. He did do some things before he left, and maybe he hadn't paid attention. So maybe when he came back to the scene, maybe to him nothing had changed, or he hadn't realized what had changed as far as what players were doing.
Well, he was also at those mini tournaments that we were at where Winter Wars would beat him.
Okay. Listen. The truth is, when we were making that bracket, the way we did it was if you were top 8 at MLG or like top 8 at EVO, you got you got your own bracket basically. Like you were the number 1 seed, right? Mm-hmm. So MLG, Raleigh, Dallas, and EVO were considered. So 16-bit got his own bracket because he's been in top 8. Okay. So when we were filling things out, I thought Winter Wars should be in there because I personally thought he would be like a good number 2. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's not that's not even a question.
Okay. So and then I put him in there and so then I addressed the Swift Tom Hanks thing that I'm the one who actually put Swift Tom Hanks in that pool, not himself. Okay, that is true.
Yes.
But when he saw that, he, like you said, Tom, he felt like he should be the higher seed. Okay. And he also felt, because of Blue Nine's recent placements at grassroots majors, including ECT, that he should be the 3rd seed. Okay. And we had a disagreement about that. And it is what it is. That's just a judgment call on.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
yeah.
Blue Nine didn't even play at ECT.
No, not ECT.
You know, in reality, I don't care about who was seated what in the pool. Look, you could have seated me last in my pool. I was still coming out.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just brought it. I brought it up because that was just something that Revolver was just about to bring up that I was thinking about as well. The only thing, honestly, and I can tell you this as somebody who saw the brackets the way through from the beginning to the end when we were at the tournament, through this whole 2 hours of all the whining and everything that happened. The way the brackets looked, honestly, no one could predict top 16 at that time because everything looked so random and every pool was heavy.
It's true.
Every pool was heavy. I said it there. I said I can't even predict this. It just so happened to be that it turned out to be the same 8 people. You know what I mean? Like, but when we were first there, I looked at it and I said, "Yo, there's no way." We literally had a pool of katanas, a pool of Cyraxes, and a pool of Cabals. Like, it was just like, all right.
I was in the Cabals area. I was in the area with.
I know.
I was in all Cabals, and so
you did a graceful job, by the way.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, we're saying no matter how you looked at the way the pools were done, you don't look at any pool and say, "Oh, free, put me in that pool." "Oh, free, put me in that pool." You just look at it and say, "Fuck, man, I just gotta."
Also, for the record, I mean, I would say, for the most part, even 99%, we didn't look at players' characters. We looked at placements. So, for instance, that's why you had certain pools with multiple Cyraxes or whatever, because we tried to max up placements with player location.
We all get 17.
Hold on, I have a question for Claude.
Yes.
Why was I seated?
You?
Yeah.
Because you're Revolver.
I have no major placements.
What number were you?
I was 3.
Okay, 3.
Why are all fucking katana players so fucking emo?
Why is?
But I didn't place anything.
Listen. Number 1 and 2 got placed. Number 1 and 2 got placed for the most part for tournament, like top 8, top 16. After that, we went over like players.
Revolver is such Charlie Brown. It's not even funny. Look at that attitude. It's so Charlie Brown.
Wait, because of how well you did against PL and you did 17, so you got like a 3rd spot. You know, that's all I mean. Okay. I mean, stuff like that.
Here's one thing though. I just want to say, you know, I understand the whole issue behind, you know, the possible rigging of anything. That's never a good sign. But we have to be honest here. Just like you guys were saying before. If you've attended grassroots tournaments within even the past 15, 20 fucking years, you'll know that for most of the time, they want to just put on a good show. It doesn't matter who they want to place. They don't want anybody to place in any certain way. They just want to make sure that all the good people are separated. They do that at EVO too. That's the reason they even have seating. If you looked at the EVO brackets for any Street Fighter 4 tournament, they would have like 30 pools, right? And in all 30 pools, they would have a top player separated from all the other top players. All the time, just because not just only because they place high, but a lot of these people never even made top 32. They would just place them in separate brackets because they wanted to have a good show. They wanted them to weed out all the randoms so that all the good players would play each other at the end. Right. So we really have to, like, we can look at this and we can isolate the fact that there was an intention to rig, but this is nothing new. If people are getting shocked by something like this, then I don't know what type of tournaments everyone thinks that they've been going to.
But you got to understand, okay? It does. At the end of the day, you know, the best analogy I can think of right now is if I go and rob a bank and put $1 million in my pocket, I'm a fucking thief. If I go and rob $1 million and give it to the poor, I'm still a fucking thief. It doesn't make it right.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not saying this. But what I'm saying is that I'm shocked that everyone else is shocked that something like this comes up and then it becomes this bad. You know, like I understand that the whole video of to me, the funny part was 16-bit talking about rigging the brackets when he was complaining about the brackets being rigged at NEC. That's the big shit to me.
Yeah, me too.
But
okay. Wait. Actually, well, let me cut you guys up real fast. Yeah. James. Yeah. We're going to play the video one more time because we got quite a number of guys who joined in and it's kind of left out in the open on what the fuck is happening. So James played a video
Mute
one more
your
time for
mics.
everybody.
Mute
Yeah,
your
everybody
mics.
mute your mics. You can hear what's going on.
Pig's name on it.
So it'll be like a tombstone match from WWE.
You do have to give Tommy credit. He's the one that came with that body bag catchphrase.
Yeah, he did.
You still took tons of damage from that, even though you. Tommy, I used your body bag catchphrase against Winter Wars.
It was awesome.
It shut him up.
It shut him up. He couldn't say a thing.
He could not say anything. It's the greatest use of body bag that's ever been. Yeah. He literally just sat down. You know who I used that against first? Rio. Who went on to send you
On the relation, right?
You did one around. I got body bag.
You got put someone on a body bag.
After round one, I knew it was over. Dude, when he was doing 2-0, that dash cancel on you. I was freaking out. Yeah. I was like, oh, well. Maybe I can beat him. Let's be serious here. We're not going to be in the same pool in NAC.
Better not be.
I'll throw a fit. You're one of my biggest threats.
I don't want any GG. There's 4 pools, right?
No, there's going to be one of them.
Okay.
There's going to be 8 pools of 10 or 12.
Okay, good. Then we won't be in the same pool.
Until top 16, right?
Okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I can live with that. Just no round 2. Round 3 is somewhat acceptable.
I'm sure that
If round 2 happens, I'm going to be really pissed.
no way. No. Claude and Swiss on
I was kind of mad at it.
Claude's moving the records.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's told me he's going to quote rig the shit out of him. He's literally said, what top guy do you want to be with? I'm not serious. You agree with him? First I said
you're not serious?
No, first I said
I'm not serious.
before Dallas, I was like Maxter. Now I'm like, no, man. I don't know. I'll probably say if it has to be a VSM guy, I'd say Rio. Or no, Rob.
Either that or is KT Smith.
KT Smith is not going to be on
I heard he's going. He is going.
It's not going to be an IC. Dude, what if you got a place like KT Smith? What would you do?
Yeah.
I mean, I beat him last time we played. Alright, I gotta tell you something. This is real talk, okay? Remember when KT was hyped up, and then I got to play him and I ended his career? And then everyone accepted that you were the best? I need you to do the return the favor. There's a guy named Khaotic. Oh my god, pretty. And I want you to body him. If I tell Claude to put him in your pool, how will you feel about that? You do? Are you serious?
I'm all about blowing up the online players.
Alright, I'll tell Claude. God, I hope the mic's off. If not, we're all in trouble.
Oh, is it 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 5?
It's 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Dude,
I don't know if I want to know anywhere. Why? Because I need at least one match of,
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that might come out.
All right, guys, we're all back here again.
Hello?
Yeah, everybody, you can mute your mics now.
Okay, so I'm seeing that again. I will reiterate that none of that happened, and I was clearly joking when I was joking about rigging the brackets. I said that to multiple people as a joke. I shouldn't have done it.
You know you can't say that as a joke, dude. That's some serious shit there.
But to me, I knew I wasn't. If you look at the brackets, they were fair brackets, so it wasn't like they were
you gotta
rigged.
remember, but they were changed. It makes it look really bad. You can't go to people and say, "I'm gonna rig the fucking shit out of the brackets." You can't do that, dude. To everybody else. Everybody saw that. When everybody first saw that video, they were like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, fair enough. What I'm saying is, I said I was wrong for talking to anybody about it in the first place. Okay, and it wasn't just 16-bit who I talked about. There was just a few players who I approached. because I kind of wanted to get. This is the honest truth. I kind of wanted to get input from players besides myself on what would be like for as far as players who should be seated where, right? Because we were having disagreements on should Blue 9 be seated over this person, whatever, things like that, right?
Claude,
Should
did you read what Phil just wrote?
What?
He just wrote something in the chat.
What? I'm not reading the chat.
He said, Claude, they were changed because Robin and Swift Hanks told you to leave. That's why they were changed.
What? Get out of here.
I'm reading what he wrote. That's what he wrote.
Who said that?
Told me to leave. That's completely untrue.
Wait, what?
I wasn't even I wasn't even there when they did it. So how could they tell me to leave if I wasn't there?
No, that's what Phil just said.
I was there Friday night setting up with Summoning and Shock when no one else was, by the way. Okay? And then they did the stuff on Saturday, and I wasn't there. I was there for the very, very end of it. Like the second time they did it. They didn't tell me to leave.
I'm telling you, man. That's what I just read.
From what I remember, the entire discussion that happened before, even when people were just complaining about it the last time, is that at the end of it, Rob was the one who had the final say so. So no matter what was going to be changed, was going to be changed in the brackets. So I remember this discussion happening the last time we were on this show. In terms of that, I'm not here to defend anybody. Claude is my friend. I'm going to say that, but I'm not. This is something that I'm not stepping in the middle of. I'm just saying that this is one of those situations that I really don't understand how. I understand that this can be a blow up, but I don't understand how the people in the chat that I'm seeing are just talking about Claude the way they are. When this is something that I'm pretty sure many other tournament organizers have done that hasn't come out. I can bet my fucking life on it that this has happened way more than once.
Oh yeah, I mean we could. I'm not gonna. Let me tell you something. We damn well know fucking Street Fighter, fucking Marvel, this rigging that goes on everywhere. And once again, I want to reiterate, the brackets ended up cleaned up fine, in my opinion. At the end of the day, the brackets were fine. But it's the fact, to me, it's the fact that, we are the Yankees now. We are the fucking team that fucking has shocked the shit out of people by being in 3 EVOs now. It's the fact that we are supposed to grow, and in order to grow, this type of shit is not supposed to go on. We are supposed to be above and beyond that. And I'm sorry if the fucking Street Fighter Capcom community don't like to hear it. We're not a bunch of ghetto motherfuckers getting in each other's faces trying to act like a bunch of assholes. We're actually very civil when we play against one another. There's not 12 people standing over you saying fucking get that nigga, whoop his ass. You're not hearing shit like that. You people get pumped up for your matches. You do great when you fucking play, and you walk away shaking guys' hands. I rarely have seen guys just get up and walk away like, get the fuck out of here when they lost.
Yeah, here's one thing I just want to say, just to address the people in the chat. I'm not saying that this is right. I keep saying over and over again that I'm not defending this. I'm not saying that this is right. But it's not the end of the world as to where you have to fucking show up with pitchforks and flaming torches up to his house. That's what it looks like right now. It looks like everybody's blowing this shit way out of proportion. It's bad. It's bad, but it's nothing new. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. This has happened for a very long time.
I think, okay, I agree that it looks bad, but in the end, I'm really telling you that the brackets were not rigged. So
it's obvious they weren't. I mean, for the most part, the shit that was said in the video that was going to happen, that everyone is using as concrete evidence, didn't happen.
I still disagree.
I gotta laugh though. I gotta laugh. Ponda just came into the room and said, yeah, that might be true, but the only physical confrontation was done by the MK community. Thanks, Napalm.
And honestly, I had a lot less power than you guys are making out to be when I quote unquote did these brackets. I was in on the initial making the brackets with Swift on Hanks as far as placing region players and seeding players. After that, I really didn't have much say in what went on. And that includes Friday and Saturday.
I trust that Claude really didn't do much because honestly, I really think if anyone's to blame, honestly, I think it's Swift Tom Hanks. Like let me throw him under the bus, but yeah, like, honestly, East Coast Throwdown was also rigged. I know that. So if that happened, then this could be it too, you know?
All right, listen, guys. I'm joined by 9.95 Phil. What's up, sir?
What's up, guys? Long time no talk. Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year.
Same
Phil,
to
how
you,
you
Phil.
doing, man?
I've been better.
Okay.
All right. Let me first. I gotta talk directly to Troy for a minute.
Yes.
Troy. I'm not gonna speak for Andrew because I don't. I got this directly from Rob. Okay. And Rob, he's not here right now, but I could speak for Rob and he'll back me on this. Okay.
Yeah.
He told me that that some of the changes that you were trying to make, some of the places that you were looking to put people in, that he looked at Andrew and said, "Get him out of here," and he sent you off in a different direction.
That's
that they
completely
didn't.
untrue.
Now, you got to understand something. Rob is one of my closest friends and one of the best bracket makers that I've ever had the pleasure of making brackets with in my life. Okay, and I've made brackets with a lot of people. Two of the best that I've ever done it with are Shock and Rob. Now, we gave you had one opportunity to make brackets that I was part of a tournament of, and now I'm seeing a video where you thought it was cool to joke about rigging a bracket after we dealt with the backlash of all of the potential bracket rigging issues that have come forward in 2012. Okay, I mean, seriously, what were you thinking?
Phil, I already apologized for
It doesn't. I got that you apologized, and that's cool. I appreciate that you apologized. You manned up and apologized and did what you were supposed to do, and that's cool. That's cool. But what I want to know is, what were you thinking?
Okay, addressing the fact that I was told to leave, I wasn't even near them. I didn't even see them until maybe 1 in the afternoon or 2 on Saturday. So how can I be told to leave if I wasn't there when they were doing it?
Dude, the brackets weren't even handed to them. The list wasn't even handed to them to make the full brackets until almost, I think, 2 o'clock. So
Yes.
it was like, all right.
Okay. In the morning they did it. Then when they did everything up to the door signups. Okay. I was not involved in any way in that Saturday morning. Okay. So I wasn't told to leave because I wasn't there.
Okay.
Then when they got there, when we all went up to the thing, I was there till the very end. No one told me to leave.
All right. Maybe my timeline is messed up because I wasn't there. I was too busy setting up, equipment, setting up a stream, and getting graphics done. But in post conversations that I've had, there was a point in there where Rob felt you were clearly trying to do something improper with the brackets. I'm telling you that. If you want me to get the answer from Rob, I can get it from Rob too. But I'll tell you this, Rob doesn't want anything to do with this community ever again, and I don't blame him with the way he was treated after it. And this was brought on entirely by your joking.
Well, no one knew I was joking around until now.
Exactly. And you want to know why I'm upset about it?
Why?
I not only had the flu after NEC, and I come back sick from every tournament I go to, but a lot of people in this chat are probably well aware of this. But for the last 2 weeks, you know what I've had?
What?
Shingles. Do you know what shingles are caused by?
No.
Shingles is the chickenpox virus. When it gets old, gets mean, and comes out as an adult disease. And shingles, just like chickenpox, is a nerve disease, and it's apparently caused by stress after you've had a lowered immune system. Where do you think I got that stress from? Might it possibly have been from NEC?
It might have been.
And where do you think that was caused by? The bracket rigging issues. Why would you have joked about this? Putting it in 16-bit's mind that this was even something to consider.
Phil, I told you. I joked around and I joke around about a lot of things and I apologize for it. I said I shouldn't have did it. I shouldn't have told him. I shouldn't have told anyone.
And then, hold on a second, because in the video, 16-bit specifically says well, if things don't go my way, I'll just throw a fit.
Well,
So-
they didn't go his way because
Exactly, and he threw a fit.
no. What he said in the video, none of that went his way.
Exactly, and he threw a fit.
That's not why he threw a
did
fit.
exactly what he said he was going to do if things didn't go his way.
Okay, that's not why he threw a fit. He threw a fit because of Khaotic, not because of anything else.
Why me? That's the thing. Why me? Why the fuck is he worried about me so much? I never said anything to him.
That I don't know, but I'm telling you that he felt, which I completely disagree with, which is untrue. I think what he's saying is untrue. That Swift-Tom Hanks was trying to set him up, which I believe is completely untrue.
I was actually there for the conversation when 16-bit was talking about it, and the entire reasoning for it was that 16-bit, Khaotic, and I forgot who else had been training apparently in the Katana matchup. Were all in the same pool as him, and that apparently what he thought was that Swift-Tom Hanks put them all in the same pool to make sure that he doesn't make it out.
The Khaotic wasn't in the same pool.
It was that in the original pool. I think it was. I think it was TrePound. It was somebody. It was another Katana player from what I remember. And
no, it was that Khaotic was in the pool next to him. So if he got out of pools, they'd have to play each other in top 16. That was the issue.
Yeah. So it turned into something like that. And then I remember being there and asking him, well, if he said they're all friends, so that he's putting them all like near each other. I'm like, well, if they're all friends, wouldn't they want to put each other far away from each other? That's what I asked him when I was there. And then he was like, well.
I got to interject on this for 1 second. Phase 3, I think you're the only person beyond me that realized that fucking ringtone is the bewitched ringtone.
Yeah, Phil, you were about to say something?
Well, I do have the NEC brackets in front of me. Now, let me, because I haven't actually touched on this outside of posting on the forum, and most of you guys already know that I do not like coming on shows. Every time I've gone on a show, it has done nothing but cause problems for me, and the backlash from it is just something that I purposely try to ignore anyway. And I even think that this is a mistake for me coming on here tonight, because I think that it's just going to wind up bad for me anyway.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, because, you know, I got this fucking Xbox sitting at my house that I got to bring to you, and I'm not bringing it to you.
Why wouldn't you bring it to me? You know,
because I'm afraid I might catch you shingles. They are contagious.
No. If you had chicken pox, you can't get shingles anymore.
Oh, yeah?
If you had chicken pox, you can get shingles, but you can't catch shingles from me. Shingles is only contagious to people who have never had chicken pox.
Okay, well, I had chicken pox.
So then you're safe.
All right, so I could bring my Xbox over.
Yes, you can bring your Xbox to me. It's fine. I do have the NEC brackets in front of me, but let me just say something here. All right. I want to address the Ryu 48 issue, and this is an old and dead issue, and I'm going to bring that up for one specific reason here. Yes, I will admit that, and I admitted this on the thread, and I agreed with Sunk that this is true, that the practice of adding a person late in the game to a tournament is an unfair practice. That person is not being held to the same standards as everybody else who is there in time. Absolutely. Absolutely an unfair practice. But let me ask you guys a question. If we chose to turn away every single person who showed up late to a tournament, when there is a perfectly good buy slot waiting there for them to be put into, would you guys be okay with our community having 48-man tournaments instead of 105-man tournaments?
No.
Exactly. So stop complaining about it and be happy that we have 100+ man tournaments to play and not 38 people.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Okay, so just to be clear, EVO follows this practice too. And is it the lesser of two evils? Absolutely. It is the lesser of two evils. I would rather take the heat for adding somebody into a buy slot in a late pool because I'm accommodating the extra person. However, I know that it's still an unfair practice, but it's the lesser of two evils because I'm making the tournament better by adding an extra person to it. I'm making it bigger. So I'm not gonna apologize about that anymore. It's a practice that will continue to be used by many tournament organizers for many years to come. I know that there are some tournament organizers that don't do it, and I try to avoid it as often as possible.
Stop for a second. Okay, look, I just got off the phone with 16-bit. He wants to come on here to come clean and tell his side of the story and come clean and admit he was wrong. And he's going to come clean on everything. There's no point denying anything. Everyone sees whatever. He's going to come on here and come totally clean.
All right, James stepped away for a bit there. So when James comes back and then 60-bit comes on, we'll get him on.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it sounds a lot more. I just talked to him, and basically, look, the guy feels really, really bad about it. I mean, he's basically going to come on here and, just say, you know what, I fucked up. I was wrong. I mean, when I was talking to him, he told me, hey, you know what, the Khaotic thing. And the thing is, this guy is sitting there saying, dude, even if I come on and admit I was wrong, I shouldn't even get forgiven. He feels like he should be punished for it, like lose his job or something, which we don't wish that on anybody. Let's be serious here.
No, we don't.
I never want to see that happen to anybody.
No, I mean, and he is punishing himself over this. So he's going to come on here and, look, when we were talking just now, he said, look, man, the Khaotic thing, dude, Khaotic has every right to be mad at me. He told me, hey, you know what? I worked for a long time to surpass Robin, Crazy Dominican as the best katana. And I was worried about, being blown up and losing that, so he kind of avoided Khaotic. And, I mean, he just said, he's really insecure and he fucked up. And he's admitting this to me. And he's like, dude, I should be punished heavily. So for all you guys that are probably going to try to blow him up when he's going to come on here and admit he's wrong, just realize it takes a big man to come on here and say, I fucked up, whatever. And this guy thinks he should be punished heavily. So this guy's taking it pretty hard on himself. So it's not like this guy is.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna repeat something that Rob has told me. And again, I'm speaking about something that a good friend of mine has said before. Guys, remember this: the MK community generally has a memory of about a week long. In about a week, a lot of this is all going to blow over, and everybody's going to be happy that everybody's still in the community. Nobody wants to see anybody exiled from the community or banished or lose their jobs. This is ultimately still a game, and while the game is an addendum to our lives and a major addendum to our lives, don't ever forget that things that are outside of the game should never be affected by this, which is why I'm so angry about this, because I missed work because of shingles and the stress that was caused by all of this. And Troy, that's not something that I'm going here on and on about because I'm angry at you or anything like that. What I'm annoyed about with you is just that you didn't think. I would have thought, better that if you had thought that you needed help with running, with setting up a bracket, that you'd come to the people who have done it in the past at these specific tournaments, which would have been me, Shock, Rob. That's why I'm a little confused about that. The idea that you would joke about it. Everybody knows that you're a joker and that you like to troll a lot, and that's whatever, and that's cool. But that was definitely the bonehead thing to joke and troll about. Definitely the wrong idea.
Well, Phil, I mean, I've already said that I should have done that. And I apologize. I don't know what else I can say.
Right, but on the flip side of that. On the flip side of that, some of us were affected outside of Mortal Kombat before that. Because of that, the fallout from that has effects reaching beyond the game. And those of us who were affected like that have a right to vent that frustration, and you have no choice but to hear it one way or another. Whether it's through this or through posts on the forum, we have the right to get that out as well.
Well, we agree no one should lose their job over this. I mean, let's...
Oh, no. There's no reason for anyone to lose a job.
Yeah. This guy should not lose his job. I mean, so... Hey, Natus, where did Jimmy go? You say you needed Jimmy to add him?
Yeah, no, James stepped away for a few minutes, so we got to wait for him to come back so we can add him in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, dude, I mean, the guy is literally extremely yeah, I fucked up bad, man. And he thinks he should be punished to the point that he should lose his job. And I was telling him, nobody wants that. I mean, this is just something that you wanted to get out there to prevent it from ever happening again. But nobody wants to see somebody lose a job, over something like this.
Well, I agree, and I don't know what else to say except I shouldn't have said anything to anyone. I shouldn't have joked around. I apologize, Phil, if you.
No, dude, it's cool. You know, Troy, you're welcome over at my house anytime you ever want. Again, I would never, you know, you're a friend of mine. You're a good friend of mine. I'm annoyed at you, but it is what it is. I'm man enough to be able to trust you enough that I can be mad at you and know that tomorrow you'll still be my friend. I'm not concerned about that.
Well, like I said, if you are physically sick, I apologize. I mean,
That's not. Costner tried to say that before. I don't blame you for getting shingles. Shingles is not anything I could have avoided if I was going to get it. Shingles is unfortunately exacerbated by stress. And the stress that I went through from NEC was immediately following being sick. So the two of them put together affected me beyond the game. So it's not your fault directly. I would never blame you for that. I'm annoyed that I had to go through that stress. I'm annoyed that my feet got held to the fire for all the things that went on at NEC, which could very well have been avoided. And in my opinion, still looking at the way things happened, you know, as I said, the way things went through the video, and the way 16-bit said, well, if things don't go my way, I'll blow a fit. And then the fact that that actually happened, you know, I'm not, again, it's not, I'm not blaming 16-bit. He did what he said he was going to do. And all right, fine. But that should never have happened. None of that should have
Let's
happened.
be serious here. It's obviously my fault he was stressed out for having to watch Sub-Zero go through all these tough matchups and tournament play with all the nerfs that's happened to him, Phil. I mean, it's, you know, that's obviously very stressful. So I apologize for that.
well,
I'll take the
I
blame.
mean, like I said, this, you know, I know that I don't have the time, or, I mean, I'm married. I have a full-time job right now. I'm working 2 jobs. I don't have the time to dedicate to become like a top player, nor do I even know if I have the skill. I wouldn't even know because I don't have the time anyway to try it out. But I do love the game. I love the community. And in no way was I trying to ruin anyone's experience. And I shouldn't have joked around about stuff. Obviously, that was a mistake. In the end, I thought the brackets were actually pretty fair, but that's neither here nor there. But I'll iterate once again that 16-bits bracket, or anyone's bracket, in my opinion, was not rigged. Now, Revolver obviously has an issue with Death being in his bracket. I have no idea what happened with that. I didn't even know they had a beef, so I can't speak on that. But what I'll tell you is, honestly, I and Dark Rob and Swipsap Hanks and everyone involved was just trying to give the best tournament experience possible. Obviously, it turned into a nightmare, and it didn't work out the way we intended it to. And I apologize to you, Phil, to the community, if you feel like I did something wrong. You know, I'm sorry. I didn't do this to be malicious or anything. I really feel like, I also feel like my role is kind of being blown out of proportion, but that's neither here nor there. I do apologize, though, for saying anything to anyone before brackets came out. I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake, and one that I will never make again. And the main reason for that is because I'm never going to do brackets again, and I don't think players should do brackets, period. So that's the end of that.
Quick thing, I don't know if you've noticed what Phil wrote in the chat earlier on, but that you don't make brackets to make height. That's a no-no right there. Phil, if you wanted to reiterate a little bit on that.
Well, I mean, basically, you know, how awesome would it be for me to be able to say, well, let's take Rio and Tom Brady and throw them in the same pool, and how awesome would it be to have that pool's winners finals, hopefully, be Rio and Tom Brady. But Rio and Tom Brady are sparring partners. I would not put them anywhere remotely close to each other in a tournament, because they're not going to travel across the country to come play each other when they can do that at home. You know what I mean?
I know, but that's why we didn't put anybody in the same region together.
Well, no, I understand that. My point there was not about not so much about the region, but more so about the I thought this match or this potential match would be hype for the community. It doesn't matter whether it's going to be hype for the community. The tournament has to be the tournament. Whether it's a boring ass tournament of of Sub-Zero versus Sub-Zero all tournament long.
Wait a minute. Speak for yourself. Boring.
Breathe.
What are you talking about?
Tom, breathe.
Get the fuck out of here, Brady.
Bill, breathe. Usa, easy,
That is
man.
excitement.
Down,
You know
boy.
what? I agree. I think that all tournaments, and I've been saying this for the longest, all tournaments should be just fucking random. How about that? How about we just have it at random?
Hey, Josh.
No,
Hey,
because
Josh.
then you have the potential of having CD Junior and Maxter playing each other round one.
That's fine. That's a tournament. you know?
Hey, Josh, you know it's funny, we're talking about the rigging stuff in the chat and stuff. Like, I joke with Lord of the Fly about this all the time. I was like, earlier in this conversation, someone said when you rig brackets, you watch out for your friends, and you're like, hey, who would you want in your bracket? Do you have any idea how much I must hate my best friend, Lord of the Fly, by giving him Maxter, Newbie, and like two other Cyraxes?
I'm right up there, up the same alley with you, because I actually prefer to hold my friends and teammates, whatever, to a higher standard and say, I expect more out of you, so I'd rather put you in a bracket with harder players to play against.
Yes, and I'm tired of that treatment, so I'd like some. And next time somebody wants to rig a bracket, my email is xtombrady267x@gmail.com.
Riggers.
Privately.
No, but Josh is funny, man. Like, if there's two matchups, if you texted Mike like tomorrow and asked him, hey, what are your two worst matchups?
Oh, yeah.
He would say Cyrax and Reptile and he still can't fight Katana well, and also Raiden. And he actually got beat by I think a Katana, I think Great One, and a Raiden player.
Yeah, I know for a fact he hates Cyrax.
God, and like you look in his pool and it's like Cyrax, good games.
Damn, what a rigger! You stupid
I know,
riggers.
such a shitty friend. I mean, if there's any other, I mean, dude's like best man at my wedding, and I'm like, I don't know. It's always funny. I go back and think about that. I'm like, oh yeah, well, why the fuck would I have done that, dumbasses?
But you know what's funny? I was actually a victim of this in my last two Marvel tournaments, my really big tournaments, where they rigged it as to you can actually see the videos. They rigged it as to where me and Justin Wong had to play each other in top 8 at the beginning of top 8 and losers to eliminate each other because they didn't want either one of us to make it to grand final. So they wanted one of us to eliminate the other all the time, and we were on opposite ends of the bracket every time. And I couldn't do anything about it. It pissed me off. Actually, that's the main reason I stopped going to tournaments after that. But it's just like, oh, we don't want Josh in top 3, and we don't want Wong in top 3, so let's put them together, and one of them is going to beat each other. So I was just like, ugh. But honestly, I feel that it should just be random all the time. That's how I feel. I don't give a fuck about it.
I think it should be the TO can use whatever ranking system he wants to use, and then do it by location. And I think that's.
Yeah, location is good. I'm not gonna travel like so long, so far to do to fight my own people. But
tournaments are fine the way they're done. I mean, most of the time, people that are seeded get seeded, and then everybody else is randomly put in.
I don't get what all the fuss is here. I've been doing this for years, and this is not the most difficult thing in the world to do. You take the top players, you separate them into 4 brackets by region. And then you do it to the next 4 players, again by region, so that you don't have people playing each other from the same region. And then, if there are enough players to seed another 8 the same way, you do it. And then randomly go, New York, Chicago, West Coast. New York, Chicago, or East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. And you just drop them randomly into brackets. And that's that.
You're right. James is back.
How can
it was always done like that?
I could fill up Sub-Zero mirrors as boring. That would be an exciting tournament.
James, add 16-bit. 16-bit wants to get on.
No, he stepped away again.
What the fuck?
Do. That's a bracket I would watch. A bracket of all Sub-Zero mirrors. Somebody tweet me if that ever happens.
You know one of my favorite tournaments to go to is MLG, just
Jimmy.
because.
Yeah.
All right, so 16-bit wants to come on here and apologize and admit that he fucked up and face the music. So if you can please add him in the call.
Not a problem. By the way, guys, sorry for the delay. I had to go pick up breakfast.
Okay, hey, by the way, look,
lunch
when 60-bit
and
comes in
dinner.
here, just let him. He literally wants to come clean. Let him say his piece before anybody says anything. Let him just say what he has to say.
All right, let me find her.
So you call taking a shit at getting breakfast?
What's that?
I said so. Up in New York, you call taking a shit.
No, I picked up 1, 2, 3 packs of cigarettes.
I'm here.
Dude, I'm 60-bit's attorney.
Can you guys hear me?
We hear you.
Let my client speak, please.
All right. A little bit before NEC, I was told what some of the pools are going to be, and I listened to it. You know, I didn't say I shouldn't know this, and I talked about it, and I knew it was fucked up. And I did it because I have to win. Like this is the most important thing in my life, and I know that's stupid. And I hate this part of me, but I wanted that edge, so I fucking took it. And I knew it was wrong, and I did it anyway. And it's fucked up. And I'm afraid to lose. I'm afraid of getting blown up, and this is why I do shit like this. And usually it's never been like this. You know, I'll get in trouble. I'll say something I'm not supposed to say. Or I'll get really emo. Or I'll get really mad at losing. Or I'll threaten to leave this thing because I'm so emo and shit like that. And it's harmless. And this time, my obsession with doing well wasn't harmless. And it's fucked up. And I don't know what else I can fucking say. I'm sorry. To everybody that was at the tournament, everyone that's like supported me and shit, my fucking team, I don't know what to say.
Listen, before you go on, I'm gonna tell everybody in the chat. Hold on. Let me. Everybody in the chat needs to shut the fuck up. Okay, I don't care if my fucking viewership goes from 200 viewers to 1 viewer. The point of the matter is this: he's admitting what he did. Okay, this isn't something that's gonna get harped on. And you know, my only advice that I can give you from my experience, and I've told this to Brady, you know, I was on top of the world and I didn't want to lose it either. And unfortunately, you know, it becomes an obsession.
It's an obsession, man.
And you feel like you lose clout if you lose in the game. And fortunately, I'm here to tell you, it don't matter if you come in fucking 99th. Nobody's gonna be like, oh man, fucking 16-bit, he's garbage. Because that, like I said, at the end of the day, we're all competing for the same thing. But at the end of the day, we're all friends. And if you walk off with anything out of this, I don't give a shit that you work for NRS. I don't give a shit if you could fucking hang out with the Pope. We're all friends, and that's the aspect of it. The money matches, me telling PL he's fucking garbage. I don't hate PL. I don't hate you. I don't hate Pig, you know. But for the people that are in the stream right now, you are not in that position.
Yep.
And I hate to say it. If you ain't on the top, then you cannot know exactly what it's like. I swear, God is my witness. Go look the motherfucker up. Thor Ackerlin. He was the Nintendo World Champion. And I whooped his ass in Mortal Kombat 1 with one hand.
This is true.
And I thought that I was the shit. You know what I come to realize? Boone was calling me a dick. He's like, you're a game dick. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, you humiliated the guy who came in here. And Thor Ackerlin came in with a camera crew, and it was this whole big thing. I'm playing JamessMK. And I humiliated him. And I thought it was cool. But at the end of the day, you know what? I talk to Thor Ackerlin now. He's married. He's got fucking kids. He does his thing. You know, it was stories we can reminisce about. But it's because it's the friendships that are actually built from it. You know, and this isn't, you know, quote unquote, like you like to say, this ain't my emo moment, but it's the truth. It becomes an obsession. just like anything else. Is there video of this? I wish there was video of it. Back then we had VHS tapes.
That's true. Yeah, the camera could come in and record.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Thor Acklin. I got to reach out to Thor Acklin and ask him. He does have video.
I mean, it is an obsession. It does suck. Believe me. I mean, it sucked for me when the game came out, getting blown up when I get second place, or to have to hear, well, anyone off the street can get top 8. Yada yada yada. It just gets you after a while. Here's what I want to ask: 16-bit, what do you have to say about how Khaotic feels about the stuff that was said about him there, almost as if you were kind of avoiding him? Do you care to address that?
He should fucking blow me up.
Hello?
I was afraid to lose.
Oh, okay.
I felt like I had everything to lose. I feel obsessed with my, quote, spot. And it caused... how many times have I fucked up because of this? Popping off on Foxy. How many enemies have I made because of my obsession? James, I want to be friends with people. And I have a lot... All my friends are in this community. And I made all these fucking enemies because of my obsession.
So you're saying that you avoided playing Khaotic because you were worried about losing your spot as the number 1 katana?
I mean, if we had met in tournament, I would have played, obviously. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to play him in casuals. Fuck no, man. I that's what's fucked up. I don't even want to play people for fun half the time. Because I'm so paranoid about getting blown up.
And you know what? To be honest, it's the same thing PL feels. It's the same thing PL feels. And
I get it.
It's so, and I see Cheech, you're like, oh, you're being easy on him. I'm not being easy on him. He knows he fucked up. What more? I mean, I can't take that away from. What can I do about that?
Admitting he fucked up. What else? Yeah.
It's like when I met Brady for the first time after freaking 20 years, and I came to ECT to beat up summoning, and I hunted him down. The only reason I came back to this tournament was because I found shit he talked about me back in 2007. And I went to Jersey. I went to the tournament with my friend who fucking likes to come in here and troll. And I found him, and then the first person I saw was AC 1984, and I said, "Where's AC?" I said, "AC 1984. You know this guy is summoning?" He goes, "Yeah, he's a good friend of mine." So, I said, "All right, when you see him, tell him I'm gonna cut his fucking heart out."
Yeah. He came in and was like, "Dude, there's someone here who's looking to kill you, man."
So he goes, and Toro comes outside, and he's all like, "Dude, what's wrong, dude?" And I'm like, "Dude, who the fuck are you? And get the fuck away from me before I fucking punch you." And then he walked away. He's like, "Sorry, dude.
We lost 16-bit. You gotta call him back.
All right, I'll add him back. So what I hear is I hear summoning walking around the corner on the phone. And I'm leaning on the post outside the hotel room, and I hear him go,
Am I back in?
"Yeah, you're back." And I hear summoning saying, "Who wants to kill me?" And he turns the corner and he goes, "Oh shit, let me call you back."
Yeah.
And he sat there and he's like, "Why are you so mad at me?" And I explained to him, and he goes, "You know what? Back in the day, we were so competitive. I was fucked up, and I'm sorry. I got 3 kids now. I'm married. And what am I gonna do? Punch a guy after he says he's sorry? I mean, what more can you do?"
Yeah, he's done here, Benny. Now, let's talk about this Swift Tom Hanks thing, because people were bringing that up about you holding it up. What was the hold up for? What was the real problem with the Swift Tom Hanks thing? Explain how you explained it to me on the phone.
Well, I thought that he was trying to set me up. I mean, that's basically all there is to it, and that pissed me off.
Now, I have a question for you now. You weren't mad because the fact that the brackets didn't go the way that it was supposed to go in the video that we played?
I haven't seen, I don't remember what I was talking about. So I can't, what were the brackets supposed to be?
Khaotic was supposed to be in another pool. You asked, I think it was either Sunk or Han, or one of the guys there, which guy wanted to take out Khaotic, and that you'll tell Claude to put that person against him in the pool. Oh, what the fuck else?
No, wait.
Okay. Here's my thing. I want to talk now. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Out of all the katana players that were at that tournament, right? There was me, there was TrePound, there was Star Charger, there was Revolver, whoever, 7L, whatever. Why did you have this personal vendetta with me? Like, why? Like, why would you go? Hold on. Why would you have all? Why would you send your henchmen to come and take me out? Like, why couldn't you do it yourself? Like, how does that make you look right now?
Bad. I should look bad. I mean, what do you want me to say?
But like, why? Like, are you scared of me or something? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, and I thought I might lose. I freaked out.
I mean, okay, but at the end, if you lose, so like, people are not gonna think you suck if you lose. Like, it's a fucking mirror. No one's gonna care about that.
That's fucked up, man. I know, like, stupid is I got this information and all that. And
Hey,
like,
Claude, lower your speaker. You're making an echo.
none of this shit even happened. Like, none of the pools even actually were that way.
I know it didn't. It's just the fact that you would go out your way to do something like that. You know, like, you're supposed to be a top player in the community. People look up to you. You know, you got a whole bunch of dick suckers in the community, and then for you to do something like that, I don't know, man. It's real fucked up, in my opinion.
I agree.
Hey, MK Dan, lower down your speakers.
Yeah. So the whole thing with Swift Tom Hanks thing wasn't situations where you kind of thought that he was setting you up, and it was one of those things where you look at it like he felt like he was training, he's setting you up to lose to him, because it's kind of those big deals. But if you were to beat him, it's like not a big deal. But if he beats you, it's a big blow up.
When I'm emo, all right, I want to get off soon. When I'm emo, I'm not fucking joking around, man. Like, I'm not saying it's like rational. That's how obsessed I am with winning. So that's fucked up. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, I can, like I said, I can side with you on that. My only advice I can give you as far as the winning, this is not my generation where one person can dominate, because let's be realistic, you know, everybody says how good I was at MK1 and 2, but it wasn't as complex. It really wasn't. And it's like, you know, this is a game where today you're going to win, tomorrow you're going to lose. That doesn't make you suck. You know, look how long it took, you know, how many times of you know, Pig getting third place, finally getting his first place, then sometimes not getting that, you know. Well, he's been pretty consistent, but the point is, it's like PL, you know, PL goes and wins EVO and then goes down and gets blown up in fucking
You don't think
NDR.
Pig doesn't know? You don't think Pig doesn't know, no matter how many times people are like, oh, good job, Pig. The one time he doesn't make top 8, they're going to fucking blow him up. Obviously that is. The next time I don't make, I got to go to SCR, make top 8, go to Winter Brawl, make top 8. The next time I don't, they're going to blow me up. I could beat every Sub-Zero mirror 1 million times, lose one, and they will blow me up. It's just the way it is. And you can't let that rule you.
Right.
I did. I did let it get to me. I still, you know, I've been talking to my friends recently about, like, not doing this shit. Like, I'm not going to quit the game, because I love the game, and I love my friends in the community, but, like, I'm definitely can't handle the fucking stress. Just stupid. Like, I know it's stupid.
It's like anything, dude. When you get good at it, you know, it's like being an actor. You get your 15 minutes of fame, you don't want to let go of it. You know, I mean, do you not think that I wish I didn't come back to the scene after 10 years and blow all you motherfuckers up in MK9 and be the old fucking George Foreman by my grill and I'm the best MK9 player? I would have loved it, and it for a while it was my obsession. But then reality kicked in, and I played the game really and got in depth with the game, and I realized that it's an impossibility to always be the top player in this game. It's just not. There's too many variables in this game.
It's true.
You know, and because of those variables, you know, whether it be something stupid like the input bug, or you know, or resets, or you know, whatever it may be, there's too many variables in this game that allows one player to beat another player on any given day.
Exactly, James.
What's up there, Mr. Dan? We got MK Universe .lu, MK Dan in Luxembourg.
Hi, James.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing well. Did you see my little tweet from your girlfriend?
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get her on the show within the next week or two.
Yeah, I hope too.
For guys that don't know, MK Dan is he runs MK Universe .lu in Luxembourg. And in case for you guys that don't know, Luxembourg is a country in Europe. And he's been hooking me up with Talissa Soto to get Talissa Soto on the show, hopefully. And you know, he's been showing support for the MK scene for how long now?
20 years.
20 years. So, yes, Talissa, Mr. KJCS23. I mean, I'm sure you've obviously caught wind of this. We know your tournament scene isn't too viable, but let me just get an outside opinion of what you think about this. Really, that much? You hear me, Dan?
Yeah.
What's your opinion about everything you just saw or heard?
The what?
Your opinion.
Yeah, about
of did you watch the video?
Which video?
Okay, you didn't watch the video.
No, I don't think you. Well, look, Jimmy, I got to get out of here.
Sir.
But I just wanted to be on here, you know, to hear all this stuff. And you know, hey, listen, guys. At least Bit came on here. He manned up.
Exactly.
To it. He could have made 1,000 excuses. He came on here. He manned up. He knows he fucked up. Hey, we're going to EVO. Let's keep this shit in 2012. It's 2013. Keep it in 2012. Move forward. Thanks for having me on. Long live MK. Peace.
All right, man.
Yo, guys, I'm out too. I gotta go to bed.
All right, Mr. Phil.
All right, Phil.
All right,
Take
good night,
care of
guys.
those shingles.
Yeah, well, they're almost all gone.
That's good.
Good night, guys.
All right, man.
All right.
All right. So, anyway, guys, you know, I mean, I see Cheech. I see you in there. Hold on, James. Dztrbed wants to call in. Where's Dztrbed? Let me find Dztrbed. Like I said, once again, you know, I don't want him to get shit much. I mean, I've been telling Nate this the whole time. I don't want him to get too much shit. You know, but in reality, yes, it was fucked up. It's done. It's gone. It's over. He made an apology. You can't sit here and fucking harp on this shit fucking all day or all year. I don't want to see the forums fill up with super fucking negativity.
Yo,
what's up there, Mr. Dztrbed?
Hey, what's up, man? What the fuck's going on in the show, man?
Lots of stuff, man. A little drama. You know, but
Hey,
he's trying to
first
clean it
of
up.
all, hey, fuck 16-bit with his cheating ass.
DZT, why do you never call me when you're in Atlanta?
I do call. You say you're busy like every time, man.
You've never called me.
Man, I
Where
call
are
you,
You're
Tyler,
from Augusta.
Lennon, everybody, man.
But you don't call Tyler either. You're from Augusta. You go to Detroit. You don't talk to me for like 2 years, and you show up on streams and shit. What's up?
Because I'm a fucking beast.
I know you're a beast. That's why I need to play. Let's go, Quan Chi, man.
I call you all the time, man.
Send it.
Man, send fight, man.
Send it.
Down there for a final round or whatever.
Or whatever. You're not gonna be here for final round. You weren't here last year. You weren't here for any locals. You weren't
And
here.
I
I don't even think
I made a banner for your tournament, man. I'm always down with you, man.
Okay. All right. We're good.
Dztrbed, what's your thoughts on the current situation that's occurred?
I think 16-bit should be banned from Injustice tryouts, and all his sponsors should be taken away from him for being a faggot noob.
You know, let me tell you something, guys. In all honesty, I would agree with you on that. But two things I look at. I look at the person, and you know, we all know he gets emo.
This guy's been constantly getting blown up on like every one of your shows for like the last 3 weeks, man. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sorry. I don't like kicking a motherfucker when he's down. You know, and it's been exposed. You know, and it is what it is.
They got exposed really bad.
It got exposed really bad, courtesy of Mr. DarKNaTaS and his fucking eyewitness news investigative fucking.
Listen, I got an anonymous tip. I already.
That's how it always starts.
That's what I got. We got a tip. We investigated it, and this is what we got, guys.
You know, I mean.